Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't hear part 1. Guys, it's because we put out a lot of recaps. Go back and listen to part 1, okay? It's before this one. Bye. Enjoy the show.
My take on it was a little different because I thought this was like a masterful, like sort of faux owning my mistake moment by her. And this is sort of like one of the reasons why I really, really love Bronwin, because she's like, yeah, I said it in a way that sounds like a lie. And then like, it's just basically like I kind of did lie, and I did it because she does this thing like, I can't believe it was more important for me to lie in that moment than it was to uphold like my situation with Todd and our anniversary or whatever. And I just did it to feel cool. And I thought they wouldn't notice because I just conned them with this another stupid thing. So she's basically saying, yes, I lied, but I lied because I thought they'd be too stupid to catch me. And I was doing it so that way I could feel cool. So like she somehow admits it in a way that makes you feel sympathetic for her. And it's like the implication is I did it to feel cool because the other women are such bitches that they wouldn't let me into their group on my own. So I had to resort to this tactic. And I was like, that is so shrewd. Like that's so shrewd the way she subtly like inserts these elements into this mea culpa moment.
Yeah. It's like she's both doing that, what you said, and she's also doing a little bit of like, well, it wasn't really a lie, but these women are too stupid to understand English. So I guess technically it was a lie, even though it was just how I use words. You know, like they're just, I guess I'll apologize.
She was like trying to
they're just all idiots.
Yeah, I think she said she was trying to be, I think she's like trying to say that she was trying to be coy, but people were like, no, you said you were going to buy a necklace and you didn't buy it. We haven't seen it yet. So did you buy your necklace yet?
Yeah.
We don't care about your coy remarks.
So Brittany's like, all you have to do is say, I lied. I'm sorry. The end. And she goes, oh, well, let me know when you've cleared up the lies that you've told Boo Boo. Okay. How about that?
And Bronwin is like, and then we'll talk about you telling me how to clear up mine. Okay. She's like, well, don't call me Boo Boo. That's so condescending. Call me Miss Boo Boo. Thank you very much.
Does everyone here know what it's like to not be on a trip with your friends and have them all talk about you? And this is a pivot to me talking about when Bronwin didn't invite me on that trip last year. Okay, so I'm surely you're going to let me go off on this. And Mary goes, I do, because I was on a trip with my friends. And when I went to bed, all of my friends, Lisa, talked about me. So I know what it's like. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to get to complain about my last time that I was kicked off the lunch table.
Wow, Mary really went up me on that one. And she's like, she has said some things, and she has had information outside of Britney about everyone at the table. And then we see a series of Lisa flashbacks. Like, I heard Sean does circle jerks.
Yeah, but that was a response.
Such a big one to jump out of the gate with.
Yeah, I know, but they edit this. This is what I was talking about earlier, how they edit this all to make it look like this is Lisa being a monster. But Lisa just said that because Whitney was spreading around that John was cheating or whatever, or that he was making out with people and Lisa was giving people hand jobs or whatever the fuck that thing was. And then the next one is Meredith said I had mental issues. Oh my God. I don't pop pills, bitch. You do. Again, that was a response. Cameron has had religious trauma being a member of Mary's church. He mortgaged his house and gave her 300 grand. Which was when she was fighting with Mary. Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I just chuckled for some reason.
For that one.
But that shit was funny. Just makes me chuckle. I was like,
funny. And Whitney's saying, you plant things about my marriage and my business. Oh yeah, go get your proof. And then I'm going to sue the fuck out of you.
Yeah. So, and then Lisa is saying, she said, there's this other thing about this honor code. It just is a lot of Lisa stuff.
The jeweler comes up, or Lisa is saying, the jeweler said you guys didn't buy it, or the hoop earrings. And Bronwin saying, well, that's very weird that a jeweler would tell someone else what I did or didn't say, isn't it? Okay, so in all of these, Lisa was either retaliating or just completely right. So whatever.
Also,
people.
I mean, if you want to talk about like, oh, Lisa always seems to have all the information on people. We had a whole season of Whitney saying, you did jizz for jazz. Okay. I mean, it was a whole season of accusations that Lisa Barlow was trading sexual favors to get tickets to a jazz game. So like, you all have tabs on each other. Okay. You all do.
This cast, the shit they do on this show is so funny. And I love all the flashback clips because half of them, they're in crazy costumes too when they're fighting. Bad wigs. It's like Marilyn Monroe yelling, you called me a whore to my husband. So then we cut back, and Meredith's like, listen, let's just deal with this with Lisa. I mean, we don't know what's going on, and Lisa's not here. So why are we talking about it without Lisa?
Yeah, okay. And Bronwin's like, I'm not trying to do it behind her back. Meredith's like, I don't care. I can do with or without her. I'm good. Meredith is like, well, I'm not pointing fingers at you. I'm saying this is where the whole conversation went. And I think that we should just pivot. And I would literally listen to anything else right now than talk about Lisa. So Britney's like, hey,
Ding,
guys,
ding, 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 ding.
Oh, God. I never should have said we should pivot.
You guys, you know that I'm kind of the announcement girl. So here I am making an announcement, standing up, dinging a water bottle. Okay, guys, Jared and I got engaged. And they all just stare at her. Meredith's head is just sideways and it's like slightly twitching like, really?
Yes. And then we got unengaged 2 weeks after that. Mary goes, what in the world?
Well, that was short and sweet. Britney doesn't understand how an announcement works, Heather. And Britney's like, we just decided, you know what? Our kids aren't on board and we just really want our kids to be a part of it. And they weren't happy because we were so on and off last year. And so, yeah, we decided to call it off. So ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's a double announcement. We got engaged and then we broke off the engagement. So guess what? Shop is open for hugs. If anybody wants to bring their hugs in, I'm here.
Well, our kids are really not in support of it because we've just been so on and off. And so to prove to our kids that those days of us being on and off are over, we decided to turn off our engagement that we just turned on. So that's it, everyone. That's it.
Is he dating other women? No, he's still turning me on. Okay. Well, are you still seeing him? Yeah, like every day. And Mary goes, oh my God, help me, Lord. And Whitney goes, really? Because I run into him at the gym all the time.
Yeah, and he appears single. And Heather's like, what do you mean he appears single? Like, he just like shows up out of nowhere. He just appears and then he does it on his own. No, I'm just saying I never see him on a machine. I see him at the Lifetime Cafe on dates. And Brittany's like, I mean, he's a really social person. No, but he's on dates and he introduces me to them. Like, here's my date. And I'm like, hi, I'm Whitney. Do you want to buy some Prism jewelry? And they say no. And I'm like, but my business. It's really awkward every time.
Well, first of all, is it even considered a date if you're meeting at the Lifetime Cafe? When he's like, don't diss the Lifetime Cafe. It's amazing. You'd be surprised. Don't sleep on the chicken salad. Heather's like, I've literally slept on chicken salad and I feel judged. I'm feeling judged right now.
Whitney's business must really be failing if she's probably been paid to somehow put in this weird endorsement for the Lifetime Cafe in her gym.
At the 24-hour
Lifetime Cafe, now offering breakfast Monday through Friday. Try their granola. It's delish.
Well, this is a good time to break. We have fun activities planned, ladies. Some will go fishing. I remember the first time we went camping in our RV. We went fly fishing and Electra caught her first fish and I flew. It was super exciting. Great camping activity. So everybody's just like, oh, Jesus, now we have to fucking fish. They just stare at her like, I'm going to fucking kill you, Angie. Second activity is a kayak in sub-0 degree weather. It's like winter out there. You're going to put me in a fucking kayak?
No way. So they split up into groups and everything, or they decide they're going to split up. And so now we have Mary, Meredith, and Britney getting ready to go fishing, and they're playing their camcorders. And then Joe and Dusty are there. They're the fishing guides. They're like putting on boots and stuff. And then Heather, Whitney, and Bronwin are going to go kayaking with a guy named Kevin. And Bronwin's like, I've never kayaked. Never kayaked. And Heather's like, well, there's 2 kayaks though. It's a single and a double. We should get together in it. So basically Bronwin and Heather get into a kayak together. And, Whitney's saying, Heather and Bronwin are a tough case. I'm going to stick them in a kayak together until they work out their problems. I'm going to parent trap them.
Well, perhaps I'll take this opportunity to teach Bronwin how to do a kayak death roll, and hopefully she won't get stuck. Burn.
By the way, In the summer, the Lifetime Cafe has a delicious lobster roll. Speaking of rolls, available for a low price if you're a membership of the gym.
So this is wacky times. They get in the kayaks. It's crazy. They're hard to drive. And Bronwin and Heather have a few laughs together. So, they're friends now, I guess, for this 5 minutes. And then the fly fishing girls, Meredith is... She's like, all right, so I'm supposed to cast this like a rainbow. Is that right? And he's like, correct. Yeah. Well, I'm a good rainbow thrower. Who knew? Just threw Brooks into the workforce. So that was rainbow toddler thrower. And Britney is casting hers. And then
Meredith fly fishing is how I would imagine she would conduct a symphony. She's like, just flopping her wrist left and right, just very slowly, being like, well, I hope I catch a fish. All right. Didn't catch a fish. I'm ready to sit down now.
Well, I'm not really a fisherman. I don't know anything about fish other than it's where I get my campfire. So Meredith is like, so how long does it typically take to catch a fish? He's like, well, that's $1 trillion question, ma'am. Well, is it like 5 minutes? Is it 5 hours? I mean, how long do I have to stand here?
We call it fishing, not catching. Well, that's a terrible brand. I'm just going to, I don't like this at all. Mary's like, well, I'll feel bad. I'm going to want to throw it back out and free it. Okay. Cause first of all, it's going to choke. And I'm going to have to try and resuscitate it if we leave it out. And I don't want to have to do like fish CPR. How do you do that, Mary?
Like, Mary tells the guy, she goes, so what's your name again? He goes, Dusty. Gusty? Dusty. Gusty? Dusty. Gusty. Gusty would know. Ask Gusty. It's like, yeah, we can't bring them back to life once they're dead. Mary is like, you can't bring them back? Oh my God, that's not true. That's not true. I'll just put it on the side of the rock. Do CPR. What?
But then what if I use a defibrillator? That's definitely not going to bring the fish back. You'll just have dinner at that point. Oh, okay.
So they just stare at Mary for a minute, and then Meredith goes, okay, but like seriously, most days, how long does it take to catch a fish? Can we just get back to that?
I have to feed my toddler soon. This is taking way too long. So then it's a commercial break, and now we're on Heather Cam, and Heather is approaching the camping guide, Kevin. And she's like, so I have a question. Is this not like the area where the legend of Molly Sorensen happened? And he's like, it is. And she was the fundamentalist Mormon that made it her mission to find girls that would come up here to make out with their boyfriends or sin, and she would kidnap them and sacrifice them. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but since you want me to play along, I'll say, sure, this is the story.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a real legend because I looked it up and I saw nothing about Molly Sorensen.
Yeah, I've never heard it, but I've never been like a virginal innocent person that gets killed for having sex, So I don't know. But Kevin's like, yeah, we hear screams all through the night. We thought they'd be owls, but that's not how owls sound. And some people come up missing. She's like, oh, so are we going to be okay? She goes, listen, we've got a lot of sinners over here. So the sun goes down and we see Angie Cam. And so they're going to make a fire. And another reason this cast is so real. They make a fire. It's blowing smoke in all of their faces. No one can breathe. And they're like, we're shooting here. So that's it. We're just going to sit here and we're going to fucking take it.
Truly. So they all are like gathering around this fire, and they're going to cook their dinner, which is unfortunately this is not an A+ experience for them because the groceries are very spotty. We did not unfortunately have a scene like we did on Beverly Hills where they actually went into a supermarket and were like, oh my God, they actually sell hot dog buns here, not just hot dogs. What is this miracle place?
But Angie doesn't really eat. I mean, we've seen clips. You know how Angie's like, I am going to have a scene with my father where I show him how I cook. It's like she doesn't seem to really know what she's making. It's like, here is a grilled piece of salmon. And
she was going to bring like a whole lamb to cook on that campfire. And like, Angie, we can't do a lamb. Can you just bring some hot dogs? That's fine. So basically she got hot dogs, but she didn't get buns and she didn't like get napkins or something, or she really missed, like, she didn't get ketchup. So they kind of are like putting together this like slapdash kind of barbecue thing. Mary just pulls out some supermarket bagel and then she starts eating it like a piece of bread in a way that was like really weird to me. She's just biting into it. And they all looked like they were starving and unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And the best part was she brought a bag of asparagus with no way to cook the asparagus.
Just a bag of asparagus.
Yeah. So then they all laugh about that stuff. And then they eat some raw hot dogs. And we don't get any Beverly Hills like, oh my God, a hot dog. I eat one hot dog every year.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are good. Once a year. And Erica like, look at me eating a hot dog. Look at me. I'm going to eat a hot dog too. Yeah, here it goes. Eating a hot dog. Me too. You first. Okay. I ate some.
Yeah,
why is there a hot dog in the bush?
Yeah, there's definitely none of that performative, like, we're like celebrities. They're just like us moments like they do on Beverly Hills. Because actually, like, what we do see is that the few people who do eat hot dogs, they've kind of like curled the hot dogs up in like there's like burger buns. So they're like eating them in the burger buns in that way. And you know that like if it were on Beverly Hills, they would not know what to do. Like, well, first of all, they wouldn't even have the bun. And second of all, they would not know, well, we don't have hot dog buns. We have these burger buns, but I don't know. The hot dog is not the same shape as the burger bun, so we can't use it. Oh, well, I guess we're just not going to have dinner tonight.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be something that they would be able to figure out. But on this show, they're all sitting there with their hot dogs and the burger buns, which, by the way, for the record, I hate that. I hate having a hot dog in a breaded product that is not a hot dog bun. It's so annoying, right? You have all that like like when you have the part that sticks out from the bread that doesn't have any bread with it. So you're just eating like solo hot dog. And then when you get to the bread, there's too much bread. Ugh. Hate it.
I don't think there's ever too much bread. I'm just in it for the buns.
The proportion's wrong. Proportion's wrong when you have it like in a slice of bread.
Yeah, it's not well thought out. But hot dogs in general, everybody knows, they're not well thought out. They don't fit in the bun properly. And then you've got the whole, like, there's a certain amount of hot dogs in the package and there's one fewer bun. So it never really makes sense.
It's the worst grift. It's the worst grift that we've all
hot dogs have been fucking us over for years. No one's really ever done anything about it. And look at Congress is like trying to fix all this bullshit that doesn't need fixing. Like, get in there and deal with the hot dog people.
I was just about to say that. Why can't let's put some of this energy into something that's really useful, like getting hot dog buns and hot dog packages on the same page. Okay, it's time that we address this.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So Heather says, Bronwin, when you were at BYU, did you ever hear of creepy stuff that would happen at Provo Canyon? And she's like, of course I did. Yeah, because girls would go missing. Is that true? I've heard stories. I've heard a lot of stories that girls would come to Provo Canyon and there were things about their businesses and they weren't going right. And I'll tell you that much. I'm not sure if they're true, but I will tell you that I've heard them.
That's why whenever you go into any Italian deli, they always say, don't go to Provo alone. Don't go to Provo alone. Don't think that's what they're saying.
Well, I don't want to put a damper on this trip, but I love Provolone. And this canyon is notorious for like freaky shit. And it's the legend of Molly Sorensen, the polygamist girl who escaped the colony and had been seeking retaliation on the community ever since, on young girls mostly. And Angie goes, what community? And Meredith goes, well, yeah, we're not young. We're safe.
I think we've aged out of being abducted by ghosts, so I'm not too concerned. And if I do see a ghost, I'll say, you can leave.
I'm just saying it's freaky. It's freaky. Girls go missing and women that had like sinned, and she would basically bring them to justice. That's what would happen. She would take virgins and then she would murder them. No, she would take virgins who became sluts and then she would murder them for becoming sluts.
Heather is definitely regressing to her like 12-year-old self on a sleepover, trying to scare all the other girls. And like, no one cares. Yeah. I mean, I never would have been a good time girl at BYU because I knew the legend of Molly Sorensen. What happens to good time girls and what you don't want to don't want to mess with her because we talked about it all the time at BYU, especially when we were freshmen, especially when we're out partying and flashing guys with our tits because we're good time girls. Oops, didn't mean to say that part.
It's 6 years later, and Heather is still worried about being called a good time girl. I love it. I love that this tortures her whole life. Like, she's never going to let it go. She's like, I couldn't have been a good time girl. I was afraid of Molly Sorensen. You see, all these years later, still proving my point.
You know, I heard that Molly Sorensen goes and abducts people who use a thumbs up emoji, which is why I never would use that in a phone text.
Molly Sorensen would murder people by sending them a thumbs up text emoji, which everybody knows means you're about to die, you slut. Everybody knows it.
So,
Heather, we forgot to Google murders in Provo Canyon. Whitney's like, Angie didn't do the research. So Heather's like, you guys might be surprised to see me helping Bronwin with her hot dog, but I'm a good person because when you're in nature, it puts everything into perspective. It's just so beautiful.
Yes, everything's in perspective, which means that you can help someone else when their hot dog gets stuck on their little fork thing. So Bronwyn's like, yeah, we really, we kayaked it out. It was really fun. It was really fun. Wow. Is it really nature? Or do you think it's actually just fun that we're on a trip without Lisa and you can actually just be yourself? And Heather goes, that's a shitty thing to say, Angie, even though I was definitely thinking that.
No, really, though. You don't think I'm myself around Lisa? You don't? I'm not myself around Lisa Barlow? Well, would you be nice to Bronwyn if Lisa was here? Well, I think that I would have had a good moment with her on a kayak, for sure. For sure I would. And they're like, wow, Heather finally being herself without Lisa, which is so silly. Heather's been friends with Lisa for 5 minutes.
Yeah. But also, hasn't this been like an ongoing, well that they go to on this show? For a while, it was Heather's a different person when she's not around Jen Shaw. And then did Heather say this about Lisa at some point? Like, Lisa's a better person when she's maybe not around Meredith. I don't know. That part may be a confabulation on my part. But basically, they're saying to Heather, like, yeah, look, you're so much more fun without Lisa around. Gosh. And Heather's like, well, I mean, okay, my stuff with Bronwyn is not about Lisa. And I thought it was worse that you jumped on board with it. And when he's like, but it's like hard if you're like on the outs. I think with like Lisa, can someone interrupt me? I don't really know where my sentence is going.
But who feels on the outs with Lisa right now besides Bronwyn? Anybody? And Whitney's like, hello. Yeah. The very next day after New York, Lisa went online and started calling me a liar again. It was horrible. Well, because you were lying about her in the reunion. So that's why she was doing it. She's making her sound like she's being bullied. And Meredith's like, oh, and you didn't do anything online. You didn't do anything. I haven't done one thing. I stayed off.
Yeah. Anytime something went on sale, the new iPhone went on sale, and I was like, I'm not getting in that line. I'm offline. Brittany's like, well, I think that's like a little hypocritical because, I have a question. Okay, I have a question. Why would you even say something so horrific? Like, you just, I can't even say it. It's so crass. But you said you do Jared for money. How could you even say something like that, Whitney?
Geez, shut up. Everybody just groans. They're like, oh, shut up. There's like, is Britney even a part of the same conversation? What is she talking about? And Whitney's like, I didn't say you did. I asked if you did. Yes, you did. You did say it. You said, why do you have sex with Jared for money? That's exactly what you said. No, I posed it as a question. Oh, she didn't say you have sex. By the way, she said, you suck dick.
She said, you suck dick. Am I right? Question mark. So it's a question. So Whitney's like, yeah, when you came for my business, I put it back on you and I said, what do you do for money? And then I said, ha, because that was stronger. And yeah, I'm not proud that I said you suck Jared's dick, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I said that.
What does that have to do with people shading your business online? Why can't I shade your business online without being called a deep putter in her mouther?
Because it hurt, Brittany. It hurt.
But you literally out of the blue said, Brittany, USD for Jared. I mean,
cause you out of the blue brought up my business, Brittany.
No, because you were trying to shade Lisa and I was defending her. That's why.
No, Lisa's not a window. I wasn't trying to shade her.
Then why would you say that when you were like getting dragged on social media? That's a new low, Whitney. That is a new low. And I'm really disappointed. It's a real new low. It's
because I had a business that failed. Okay, that's it. Justin went in all with me and now we have nothing. It failed. It failed real bad.
Okay, I don't have a business pending lawsuits and in like general is in legal turmoil. Like I have a business that failed. I had to fire 30 employees. Do you think that was fun? It wasn't fun. Okay.
Although we did have a little bit of like we put out some lemonade and put out party hats and said, congrats. Now that you're fired, you get a free piece of Prism jewelry. So it was actually like firing them was pretty fun now that I think about it. We had a great time.
Yeah, but Whitney, that's why it's so hypocritical for you to be making fun of somebody else's troubles that they're having in business.
Yeah.
Do you not see that this is exactly why you're a fucking hypocrite? But she's put on the victim cloak, so it has shielded her. So so now everybody's just like, they're just staring at her. And Bronwin goes,
it's a good one.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that your business failed. Yeah, I didn't know it failed. I didn't know.
I felt it's something I was really excited about. And that started as a massive success. And by started as a massive success, I sold a few things and then it just went downhill from there. Then I failed.
Yeah, her whole changing the name of the company halfway through was stupid. Like you've worked all these years on building a brand and then you're like, nah, I'm going to just change it. And change everything about it, and then pretend I'm designing jewelry that I'm getting off of Temu or whatever.
Was it Milo and
the first one was Whitney Rose,
Milo.
wasn't it? Wasn't it just like Whitney Rose? And then she changed it to the name of her kids, and then she had Prism. So I'm not really sure which one failed, but it's a lot of changes there. Not a lot of consistency. So she's like, I'm not a stranger to the ebbs and flows of business, but I've never actually had something just flat out tank. We're talking millions, thousands, and it's just so emotionally hard for me because I didn't just fail myself. I failed my employees. I failed my customers. I failed my family. Like, I just felt like the weight of everyone this is affected. I felt how much I failed. You know what I mean?
I feel like there was like a confessional look a year or two ago that you could say did tank. I think you did tank on at least one thing so far. But I failed. You're like, I made a bad choice and I'm cleaning up all the shit from it, which is that I decided to take a poop with the toilet seat down. It was a terrible choice and now I'm cleaning it up, but I don't need my,
I'm sorry, Whit. Okay. I'm sorry. You can say that I suck D for money now. You can say it now, but I don't think you are sorry. Cause why would you sling mud at me today? Why would you bring it up? Why would you even bring up someone's business? How could you do that to a woman when we're talking about Lisa's business failing?
How could you sling mud at me? It's like, well, to be fair, we are kind of surrounded and sitting in mud. It's almost like anything we do, fling some mud somewhere. No. So maybe learn the lesson that unless you know facts, you don't go there. Whitney Rose suddenly getting on a pedestal about facts is hilarious. Bronwin has facts. Those are court documents. Mine are TikTokers that want to get famous off of my failure. I just want you to have the facts. And I'm not scared to admit it. I love facts. That's why my favorite show growing up was Different Strokes. I know you thought I was going to say Facts of Life. It wasn't that one, but I like Different Strokes. And I
end this by asking everybody sitting here, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey.
You know what? That's fair. I'm really sorry, Whitney. I'm really sorry.
No, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. Think about it, Britney.
I've had so many business failures before Beauty Lab. We don't talk about our losses as women, as sisters. We don't talk about that. We talk about winning. We don't talk about failing. Okay. And I think that this is the time.
That's why I'm going to be talking about I will be talking about my losses in my new New York Times bestseller book. I just won. Okay. All right, continue.
The Winning Mormon by Heather Gay. And Bronwin's like, but the losses, that's where you learn something. That's where you learn something. You should talk about your loss, which is why I'm going on a TED Talk tour about lying about that necklace. because that wasn't right. That was
Hi, Ghost of Lisa Barlow says, I do talk about my losses. For instance, I lost a $60,000 ring in Palm Springs. Yeah, so that was a loss. That was a loss.
Monica has it. Monica's still wearing it in her TikToks. She's still wearing it in her TikToks. I have to say, like, it takes a lot of courage to be an entrepreneur, or to take a risk, or to start your own business, or to buy an RV, or to have a twin-size bed that you share with your husband. That would never happen. And thanks for being vulnerable, because really, I think all of us are in business or have our own business, know how hard it is. They're like, oh my God, we're just sisters, guys. So Whitney's like, yeah, and I have to watch my back every day that someone's going to write a story. And then Britney comes up behind her and starts hugging her. And she's like, ew, I'm not ready for a hug. God.
Well, okay. But I still want an apology for the dick sucking comment. Like, she did apologize, by the way, just now. Oh my God, Britney, she's like pouring her heart out. Well, I can still give you sympathy and still think that like it was a shitty thing to say. She's like, okay, let's do one step at a time. One step at a time. Let's go step by step. I also like that one too. That was up there with different strokes. Okay, sympathy first, and then you can work on apology later.
They're not mutually exclusive, as Meredith would say. Okay. Sympathy first, apologies later, Brittany. And so Brittany's like, well, how can she say whatever she wants? But then I make a slight gaffe and I have to fall all over myself apologizing. What's that about? What's it about?
It's a gaffe. Gaffe. You have to apologize for your gaffes. So Angie's like, Britney, you like came in hot. She's like, thank you so much. I knew that bikini was the right decision. No, that's not what that means. Oh, well, I'm just clapping back and just standing up for myself. I felt like I was a punching bag and I don't want that anymore. I don't want to be a punching bag. Guys, I have an announcement. I'm no longer a punching bag. Okay, Britney, we don't want to hear it. The one person who was nice to you, you went after. And in case you can't figure that out, it was me. Remember when you said I was crying in the bathroom late at night? I remember. And you burned this bridge.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in you. And Brittany's like, Meredith, you turned on me on a dime, Meredith. And then we see the recording thing. Are you recording us? I am done with you. I have had enough of you.
We were good friends, then all of a sudden... Well, no, we were never good friends. We were barely even friends. I barely even knew you. Do not lie.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Lie? Yeah, how many times have I talked to you on the telephone, Brittany? Have I ever picked up the phone and called you? She goes, yes, you have. Yes, you have. What, once? Twice. Twice. So
that's 200% more than you thought.
And we also went to lunch for a couple of hours, and that was nice. Don't laugh at me. She's like,
they talked on the phone twice. Ha, 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 ha. No, well, you used me. You used me, Meredith. Oh, I used you. Yeah, because I really need you. My toddler is more famous than your fingernail, and I'm the one who used you. I don't think so.
Yes, you used me as a punching bag for your latent aggression.
Meredith sees me as the weakest link, and she could just go after me like a target. And I absolutely think that, but she doesn't know me that well. I'm like, well, you're the one who just was proclaiming that you guys were really good friends. You were the one who just was like, we're really good friends. We spoke on the phone. She doesn't know me that well. Like within like 10 seconds of saying those things.
The fucking Britney. Well, I don't need a thing from you, and I find you to be absolutely uninteresting. All right, I have zero respect for you. All right, you're like Ro to me. I will always choose caviar. Always.
Okay, listen, guys, Heather Gay here. I have done a little research on the legend of Molly McButter. I'm sorry, Molly Sorensen. Oh, Mary's like, isn't it time for us to go to bed already? No, don't you want to do a little investigating, Mary? Don't you want to do this? Let's go on a little tour and see what we can find out here in the dark. Oh, God.
And Mary's like, in every scary movie, the black person gets killed first. So I'm not I'm not doing this. But they do, sure? So they do it.
They're going to do it. So they get on their cameras And Heather's like, locked and loaded, camcorders ready, eyes and ears open, anything spooky, stay in tune with yourself, and if anything happens, scream. That's the first rule. Noise is our friend. Is this a rule for Molly Sorensen, or is this their rule for going to a reunion at the end of the season? Oh, did we freeze?
Yeah, we froze for a second. What'd you say?
I said, when she said, if anything happens, scream. That's the first rule. Noise is our friend. I was like, is this for finding Molly Sorensen, or is this like your advice for doing it?
That's how I feel every time I turn on your show. I'm like, noise is our friend. I love the screaming. It feels so good. So think of the legend of Provo Canyon, the things we heard at BYU and heard around the campfire growing up. And most of all, think of the fact that Molly Sorensen is still on the hunt, and she's looking for women with loose morals. And then she shines her camera at Britney.
Meredith goes, why are we walking in the mud? So then there's like a noise. Did you hear that? I don't like this. Let's go. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. They start to run, and then they're like, they're freaking out. They've like now like worked themselves into a tizzy. And Heather's like, I don't know how we get home. How do we get home? How do we get home? I'm like, run towards all the light of the production in the corner there.
And Britney,
you see all
Britney
those
looks right into the camcorder. She puts it right in her face, and she's like,
my gosh. She just starts singing her Miss Saigon again. Well, we can't go forward. I think we need to go back. I don't want to go here. There's no toddlers in this area. I want to go back to the safety.
Yeah. And then we just start hearing screams coming from everywhere. And Meredith's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. And they're standing in the middle of a train track. You see just flashes of lights like they're all going to die. And they end this episode making us think that these women are really going to be killed by Molly Sorensen, the slut killer. And they take themselves completely serious, and I loved it. I was dying.
So funny. Well, again, only this show can have this silly ass thing as an actual, like they said, we're going to start the season off with a cliffhanger about like a ghost that's going to kill the entire cast. That's what production really said. Like, this is where we're going to leave off. And we're all on board.
And that's what they did. And it worked. I loved it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being on Crappens On Demand and on Patreon, everywhere else. We'll see you Monday night at 5:30 p.m. Pacific to do some crappy hour. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King. It's always a party on Allison Block.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster. It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Etchels.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones. I go, you go, we all go for Hugo. Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Que sera, whatever will be, will Lauren Silsby.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry.
We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
Darn Skippy, it's Tippy.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Put us on a stretcher, it's Charlotte Fletcher.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifa.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. Hail the cork master, the master of the cork, Jennifer Corcoran. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. In the study with a candlestick, it's Leslie Peacock.
Gee, it's Lisa H.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes. It's Melissa St. Rose.
There's a chance of meatballs. It's Rebecca Cloud.
Neat. It's Ronit Feldman.
Maximum love for Sandy Maximoska.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
We cannot tell a lie. It's Sarah Tellefson.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony.
Please don't stop, it's Soli and Pop.
Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.